Hello and welcome to the annual So You Want to Be Diamond video. Yes, that's right, once again it's time to assess the best way that all of you can reach Diamond using these 5 climbing tips, whether you are in the lowest depths of existence or trying to finally conquer those Plat 1 to Diamond promos. At the same time, fixing these things and doing them consistently in Diamond will help you navigate the labyrinth of destruction that is Diamond and maybe even reach Master Plus. As with the previous editions of this video in the last 2 years, they won't be straightforward examples of things you can find in my regular tutorials, but more the aspects of the game and climbing that people don't think about and ultimately what will easily hold you down. While Evelyn mains might enjoy that, the rest of us don't. So if you enjoyed this annual video, please consider leaving a like if you enjoyed and of course subscribing for all the Season 11 content coming very soon. We also have our secondary YouTube channel and weekly Twitch streams. And this first tip really is the major one, so I will spend more time on it and go over a nice in-depth example. We'll make some jokes, it'll be a good time. Right, the first thing we need to talk about is using our prediction to actually make good plays. Anytime something like this happens, anytime you as a jungler set up an absolutely beautiful counter gank through advanced tracking, you are using your predictions and your game knowledge to be proactive. When last did you roam from the mid lane? Maybe use a nice deep TP from the top lane. Maybe as a support you understand the nuance of advanced back timings and navigated yourself to the top lane before heading back down to your ADC, who is no doubt at this point crying. And I cannot stress this enough. Reactive pathing, you see a gank at the bottom lane, you walk on down, you counter gank it, you get some kills, everyone's happy, everything seems to be going very well. But the problem is it's much harder to discipline yourself to leave your camp, to leave your mid lane, to leave your wave, to get advantages by playing for the team. This is something in high elo career we see all the time in my challenger videos. They consistently react very well to any situation and use their mechanics to get out ahead. However, this isn't always the best way to play, and sometimes when a game is in a neutral state, or if you're in silver, gold, platinum, or even in diamond, where the game can feel stagnant. Maybe your life is also stagnant and you're just going through the motions, staring at the sky, looking at the wall, admiring the 19th Ari skin to come out. It's very common and likely that you will fall behind because the enemy team makes a play before you do. The biggest impact of this is felt through junglers. Junglers gank, they make a play, you blame your jungler because they're topside on Krugs. This is what will let you have more leads than simply reacting to everything on the map. It's why top laners with TP or a global ultimate and TP, maybe a mid lane TF, a spam ganking jungler like Elise, all of these do so well in higher elo, especially in Diamond Plus, just because the impact is proactive and forces the enemy team to play around their decisions and their game timing, which in turn allows you to control the tempo of the game. You can see the power of this mindset, this proactive game style in this example. And yes, I understand that it requires everyone to want to win and play on the same page, but that's why I make these videos. I want to spread the good news, the LP gaining strategies, the life-changing metaphors, or simply put, you want to impress your e-girl or e-boy with your stonkingly big LP gains. Now this example opens up with a good jungle clear. And yes, we are very heavily focusing on the Vayne top and the Volibear jungle because of exactly how it plays out with the teleport. Firstly, Vayne leashes the Volibear. He then heads to his blue into a reverse clear. That means buff, Gromp, Wolves, Raptors. Now you can contest the top side crab. The point of this is audibling where the Lee Sin started. If you started red side and you know this, and you know he's going to try and abuse the fact that the Vayne will have lane prior on the top side. Because she has prior, what you can do as the jungler is make sure you contest the enemy jungler at the crab, she can rotate and help, you secure it, and you push him away from that area. It's even better if you can chunk him a little bit, maybe burn his flash, because now he won't feel as confident about ganking on the top side. In turn, you can run through mid, ward, get the bottom side crab, and if you need to have that reactive power thing we talked about, go and kill the Ezreal on the bottom side. Now that's all the context we really need for the setup. We fast forward a little bit and you see the Lee Sin walk over the Volibear's ward. Remember, that's what he used when he was going for the double crab. The Yone, bless his soul, actually rotates and cuts off the Lee Sin. Thank you very much. Again, I'm aware that everyone's sort of playing well and on the same page at this point, but hold your thought because I'm going to use this game and other examples in the next tips, and it's not going to be as pretty. But what is pretty as a jungler is you see your bottom lane's back. The enemy bottom lane is pushing. Now you could go down there by yourself, but you'll get 2v1'd and killed. So why don't you spend this time taking your blue, taking your Gromp, and as your bottom lane reaches the tower, you can sync up for the perfect gank. However, the nice thing about this play is if the enemy bottom lane actually decides, we shoved, let's reset, you as a Volibear can go directly to the dragon. A dragon has never been more free. You've got lane prior, enemy bots resetting, jungler can't afford to contest, and if they do, they die. And your mid laner has actually prepped lane prior and decided to roam. Now, in a case of realism, the Yone actually dives between 2 towers and dies. I really don't know what it is, but when you lock in one of these 2 brothers, it seems to kill a few brain cells. Now at this point, let me ask you, where do you think Lee Sin might be? Is he on his red side or is he on his blue side? And I hope you said red side because if you were tracking him from the beginning, you knew he did a 5 camp clear upwards, that Volibear denied him, he was denied counter jungling, which meant he would have had to fall back into his jungle and sequence up. At that point, he can either gank top lane if it's available or simply reset in time to get a second red and look for bottom lane. The Volibear understands this and also understands that his bottom lane with a Zyra Lucian and a lead is going to be looking to shove. Use a lane gank, very underrated in the lower elos, set up shop, and you know Lee Sin most likely is going to do his red into a level 6 gank on the bottom side. What gives it away also is the Leona's positioning as well as body language. Leona commits, Lee Sin shows up, oh what a big surprise. Zyra's a piece of paper, got kicked all away, so don't disengage, make sure you get that 1 kill 100%. Keep Lucian alive, and surprise surprise, this proactive and intelligent play is met with a proactive and intelligent teleport by the Vayne. She recognizes an opportunity to punish overcommitment, a really nice condemn, Volibear follows with the Godzilla mode, and that, ladies and gentlemen, should really be the game. Excellent proactive moves, good tracking, everyone doing their part, vision control, all exemplary. If you want diamond, you play like this. However, we need to add in a dose of realism and understand that this game was played with a lot of low diamonds and high diamonds, and as such will feature a lot of the issues we actually show, and that's why I'm using this game in particular as the core example. And the second tip is, please never be on the opposite side of the map cadence, where the strong side is. What's the objective? Why would you go in the other direction? Hey Lucian, by the way, there's a dragon spawning, when you have absolutely dominating control over the early game. You saw everything that happened before. And even after that, the Volibear did good ganking practice again, lined up with the top laner, got to the top lane at the same time. It's an absolutely free gank on the GP, and you can translate that into another objective. Remember, objectives after kills is such a huge component. But jumping back to our main example, there's really no need for the Lucian to go top lane and dive with the Vayne. Yeah, you use your ultimate, you kill the GP, but now the Volibear and the Zyra and the Yone have to give up this dragon. They cannot contest, and now it's 2 dragons to 1 against you. You've absolutely dominated the game, you have a lead, you can use it to get prio and set up the dragon about a minute before. At this point, we can call this a classical platinum throw. I see it way too much in coaching. And if you happen to be gold, silver, and below, there might not be any semblance of a dragon take at all. Everyone just kind of forgets it exists. But please, don't set yourself up on the opposite side of the map to an objective for no reason. Obviously, if you have a split push on the top side, you have a herald, and you can't exactly get the fight for a dragon as you see in the same game, then of course, try another macro play, shove it, get it, inhibit a tower, get advantages elsewhere. But if you want diamond, don't be like the Lucian. And the third thing that we will really take away from this basically quintessential example of the elo is, why do I see so many games with what I'm calling finesse comps? You have 2 ADCs in the team comp, like a Lucian mid and an ADC bot, or in this case Vayne top lane. Everyone is giga squishy, maybe the support has no CC, maybe no lane has CC, and all you've got is a tank Volibear or something abstract like that, and basically like 1 CC spell on your whole team. It doesn't even have to be the jungler. If you've got a Nidalee jungle and then you've got a support Lulu, all ADCs, across the map with no CC. I don't believe players, especially not in silver and gold, and heavily for the most part platinum and even a little bit in lower diamond, have the mechanical prowess, game knowledge, and teamfighting aptitude to actually pull these comps off to win. It will always so happen that the Amumu Leona Orianna comp, or the Ezreal Leona Ori comp in this case, will one-shot you, chain CC you, and AoE you down if you try and do a Baron when you shouldn't. Case in point. As well as this game was going for the red side in terms of the proactive plays in the early game, because they didn't play to the strong side of the map, because they didn't play to the objectives, and because they had no idea how to teamfight and play with a finesse comp, they ended up basically just very easily losing the game. And you can see this in solo queue all the time. CC wins. It makes ganking easier, it makes teamfighting easier, and it makes being a 5-man when you have to get objectives significantly better. And this is more prevalent the lower down you go. The lower the rank, the easier it is to play these champions, and of course just simply win teamfights as a byproduct of no one knowing how to close the game. And again, I coach mostly silver to diamond. I'm seeing this in a lot of VOD reviews, and the easier champs, or the champs with a lot of CC and easy teamfight potential, technically always have a better chance to win. And that's all I want for you guys, for the Empire, for you to win. And as we close out with the final 2 tips, the fourth one, simply put, is pretty easy. Please, as a jungler and as a laner, understand the wave manipulation, understand the CC spells, who you're against, and how to properly set up for ganks and plays, or how to avoid them. In essence, please use your big bulbous heads. Do not be an empty skull. This Riven, watch. Tragedy occurs. Level 1, Xin Zhao right clicks to win. Riven TPs in, huge massive wave. The jungler's coming up, of course it's Zyra jungle so it gives it away. I don't know anyone else who hates their life enough to play this. But the Riven CS's to the best of her ability under the tower, making sure that wave continually pushes towards her, The Zyra is waiting very patiently. Pokey Boy eventually reaches back to the top lane because he doesn't have TP, and now he's dead. And now you can shove, and now he gets turbo denied. What about this other play? Sadness occurs in the mid lane, the Katarina is very lucky to escape, the Ornn jungle is managing to get the top crab, push off the Rek'Sai, get Gromp, get Wolves, and go back to base. And on that point, laners, please understand jungle cadence and understand when you should back, when you should push, when you should ward, and track them. The support, you can do this. Rek'Sai showed top lane competing with your jungler. She had 16 CS and was chunked and would have had to go back to base. You should also note at this point that you look at your jungler level 5 and the enemy jungler level 3. That's very good for you. So when you get pinged out, and again, you shouldn't need to be pinged out, you should be able to be aware of this, and this is part of understanding this fourth point. If you've already died 2v2 in lane, don't let an enemy jungler simply collapse on you because you were overpushing and greeting for tower plates when you had no wave against you. I understand as someone who also plays support to harass and get the tower plates and everything like that, but if you shove a wave when they are simply being denied and have to last hit, and you know the enemy jungler is going to be coming down on the blue side again, and your jungler is heading directly for a counter gank or to set up a lane gank, perhaps it's better not to just auto push without a brains and die. Now I never really did reach master with support, it was just a D1 peak, but I used a lot of my jungling knowledge to ensure I could roam with my jungler, roam to mid lane appropriately, and avoid these ganks. That's one of the crucial points of actually getting to diamond. And I'm very sorry if that point was a bit more serious, but it's one of the easiest things to do because it doesn't require mechanical aptitude, it doesn't require advanced knowledge, it simply requires being present. Like all good parents should be and how all good players should be in solo queue. And our fifth and final point is that information processing speed. Now this is a bit more difficult, but I see it a lot in coaching. You get into a tight situation, someone levels up, and you don't rank up your ability quickly enough to get the bonus stats, the bonus damage, or use a spell. Maybe you get invaded by a Master Yi's Nunu and you have Nimbus Cloak, but instead of smiting the wolves and running away with your Nimbus Cloak proc, because you didn't realize that the Alpha Strike has a 2000 year cooldown, you flash, which allows him to flash, which allows you to die. Alternatively, it can simply be as a jungler seeing where the enemy jungler goes for an early clear and immediately auto-blink into a vertical jungling situation. For laners, it's understanding if someone wants to TP, maybe use a global ultimate, reacting to a sudden 2v1 collapse or a tower dive. It's rather a vague sort of principle in this because it's kind of mechanical, kind of game knowledge. But for someone who watches, a lot of challenger VODs, I watch pro play, I try and enhance my knowledge as much as possible to bring you the best content as possible. It's really one of the biggest things I see from 1000 LP Nidalee Savants down to master tier junglers who simply run circles around D4, who simply make platinums look like little babies, which is really saying something. And those in gold and silver, bronze and iron, when you're looking to get to these upper echelons of the ranking table, you will notice your mechanical proficiency improves, granted you're playing the right champions and have the right champion pool, links in the description, and of course are refining your mechanics for your champions and increasing your game knowledge through experience and through study, such that your knowledge and understanding of League of Legends reaches a level so advanced you start talking like Bird because simple language won't cut it anymore. Well, there you have it. That was rather intense, a little bit abstract, hopefully reminders of things you did know, maybe some new things you didn't. I hope the examples provide context, and of course there were less jokes in this one, but it's one of the more educational pieces I put together every year, and I really do wish the best of luck to all of you in your final climbs. Go get that diamond, go get that gold. Thank you for watching, thank you for the support. Please do like, share, and comment if you enjoyed and learned something. Please consider subscribing as well, heading to the Twitch page, the secondary YouTube channel page, or even our cheeky little Patreon. And then as always, I will see you all in the next tutorial. Ooh, now my throat hurts. That was a tough voiceover. I really struggled to come up with topics this year. We covered everything last year and the year before, and it's kind of weird to always come up with something new, but hopefully everyone liked it. Oh yeah, I left out that one tip. That reminds me.